Ancient cave art. Messages from the past. Forget everything you thought you knew about ancient history. We're going beyond artifacts to explore something far more intimate, the very thoughts, dreams, and beliefs of our prehistoric ancestors. Immortalized on cave walls. These aren't just paintings. They're messages from the past, stories, rituals, and insights etched into stone thousands of years ago. In every line and shadow, we glimpse the minds of humans who lived in a world without written language, where art itself was the first form of storytelling. Chapter 1. Echoes in the Stone. Unveiling ancient art. Imagine a world without written language, a world where humans could not record words, letters, or numbers. In this world, communication was visual. Each figure, hand stencil, or abstract pattern is a testament to human curiosity, creativity, and the desire to make sense of the world. The cave walls are alive with these whispers from the past. Animals dominate many of the earliest artworks: horses, bison, mammoths, lions, and deer. These depictions often show remarkable realism, capturing movement and anatomy with a precision that suggests keen observation and deep understanding. They reveal what was important to early humans: survival, sustenance, and the spiritual or symbolic significance of the creatures that shared their world. But it's not only animals that appear on these walls. Abstract shapes, handprints, and geometric patterns hint at symbolic thinking and storytelling. These images suggest that early humans were capable of conceptual thought, imagination, and even ritualistic expression. They were exploring ideas, not just recording events. Consider the act of creating these images. Early humans had no modern paints or brushes. They relied on natural pigments, minerals, charcoal, and plant matter, and improvised tools, from brushes made of hair to hollow bones used to blow pigment across surfaces. The process required planning, precision, and creativity. Every painting was an achievement of technical skill and cognitive sophistication. These artworks were also likely a social activity. Creating large, complex images deep in dark caves required cooperation, shared knowledge, and perhaps even storytelling as part of the process. Younger members of a group may have learned by observing elders, passing down techniques and cultural practices over generations. In this way, the cave walls became classrooms and archives, preserving knowledge and culture long before writing existed. The beauty of these images is not just aesthetic, it's deeply human. They remind us that the urge to create, to express, and to communicate is universal and timeless. Early humans were not so different from us. They were imaginative, curious, and driven by the same need to make meaning of the world. In essence, the cave walls are more than rock. They are echoes of thought, emotion, and culture from a time long before history was written. Each stroke, stencil, and carving invites us to connect with the people who came before us, to understand their world, and to recognize that creativity is one of the oldest threads that bind humanity together. These ancient messages are not merely relics, they are reminders that storytelling and art are fundamental to being human, a legacy that continues to resonate today. Chapter 2. The World's Oldest Galleries. A global tour. Travel back tens of thousands of years, and you'll discover some of humanity's first gallery-scaves, filled with extraordinary artworks. These sites span the globe, revealing that the urge to create was universal among early humans. In France, the Lascaux and Chauvet caves stand out as iconic examples. Lascaux dazzles with its dynamic depictions of horses, bulls, and deer, each rendered with remarkable realism. Chauvet, older than Lascaux, showcases lifelike lions, rhinoceroses, and mammoths, capturing motion and detail with astonishing skill. These masterpieces suggest careful observation and an intimate connection with the animals that shared their world. But Europe is not the only home to ancient art. In Sulawesi, Indonesia, hand stencils and animal figures date back at least 40,000 years. These stencils, created by blowing pigment over hands pressed against the cave wall, are among the earliest known human artworks. They challenge previous assumptions that Europe was the birthplace of figurative art, showing that creativity was widespread. Nearby, the Morris Bankep caves in Sulawesi reveal an even richer story. Engravings of animals and abstract shapes hint at symbolic thinking, suggesting that humans were expressing not just their environment, but ideas, beliefs, and perhaps even spiritual practices. In South America, Serra de Capivara, in Brazil, presents a vivid record of prehistoric life. Here, cave paintings depict hunting scenes, ritual activities, and diverse fauna, offering a window into how early humans adapted to this. The scale and variety of the artworks reveals sophisticated planning and cultural continuity across generations. Meanwhile, in India, the Bhimbetka rock shelters tell yet another chapter. Painted figures of animals, humans, and symbolic motifs illustrate daily life, ceremonies, and possibly storytelling traditions. The diversity of styles and subjects across continents underscores a common thread. Early humans everywhere sought to communicate, record, and create meaning through visual expression. These global galleries were more than decoration. They served practical, social, and spiritual purposes. Hunting magic may have been one motivation. Depicting animals could ensure success in the hunt. Some artworks likely held ritual or spiritual significance, while others expressed personal creativity or community identity. Despite differences in style, location, and medium, one thing is clear: humans shared a universal impulse to create. They experimented with pigments, light, and surfaces, and worked collectively to produce images that were meaningful, durable, and deeply symbolic. Visiting these ancient galleries today, we can feel a connection across time. Every hand stencil, every animal depiction, every abstract pattern is a message from someone who lived thousands of years ago. They remind us that the desire to leave a mark, to communicate, and to express ourselves is a timeless part of being human. These ancient masterpieces aren't just relics, they're windows into the human mind, inviting us to explore creativity, spirituality, and culture at the very dawn of our species. Chapter 3. Decoding the Symbols. Beyond pretty pictures, cave art is stunning, but its significance goes far beyond beauty. Every figure, pattern, and handprint may carry meaning messages from our ancestors about survival, belief, and imagination. Decoding these symbols helps us understand not just what they saw, but how they thought. One widely discussed theory is that cave paintings were part of hunting magic. Early humans may have believed that depicting animals would increase success in the hunt. By painting a bison or a mammoth, they could symbolically influence real-life outcomes, blending creativity with practical survival strategies. Other researchers suggest a spiritual or ritualistic purpose. Many caves are deep and dark, spaces that were likely inaccessible except to specific members of the group. These hidden locations suggest that creating art was a sacred activity, perhaps linked to ceremonies, initiation rites, or communication with unseen forces. Shamanic practices may also explain some abstract motifs. Spirals, dots, and hybrid creatures could represent visions experienced during altered states of consciousness. Trances induced by rhythmic movement, chanting, or natural hallucinogens may have inspired symbolic imagery, giving us glimpses into the spiritual and psychological lives of early humans. There is also the question of narrative versus personal expression. Some artworks appear to tell stories, showing hunting sequences or communal activities. Others may be deeply personal, reflecting an individual's thoughts, emotions, or identity. It's likely that both approaches coexisted, illustrating that early humans had both collective and individual perspectives. The placement of images within caves adds another layer of meaning. Artworks were often located in specific chambers, on high walls, or in spaces illuminated by flickering torchlight. The spatial choices suggest intention and planning, not random decoration. Early humans were manipulating light, shadow, and perspective to enhance the impact of their creations. Colors and techniques were equally intentional. Pigments came from minerals like ochre, charcoal, and manganese. Artists used fingers, brushes made from hair, and even hollow bones to spray pigments. These methods allowed for gradients, shading, and lifelike textures, revealing sophisticated skill and experimentation. Cave art also hints at symbolic thought, a critical step in cognitive evolution. Abstract patterns, repeated motifs, and symbolic animals show that humans could represent ideas visually, bridging the gap between concrete experience and conceptual thinking. Ultimately, these symbols provide more than historical insight. They connect us to the human desire to understand, express, and influence the world. They show that creativity, spirituality, and storytelling are as old as humanity itself. By decoding these images, we're not just studying art, we're listening to voices from tens of thousands of years ago. the symbols etched into stone invite us to explore the earliest forms of human communication, imagination, and belief. Chapter 4. The artists themselves. Who were they? When we admire ancient cave art, we often wonder, who were the people behind these creations? For a long time, scholars assumed men were the primary artists, linked to hunting activities. But recent discoveries are challenging this view. Evidence now suggests that women played a significant role in creating cave art. Hand stencils, for example, reveal that many prints were made by smaller hands. Likely female children may have contributed as well, participating in the communal act of creating and learning. This expands our understanding of prehistoric societies and highlights the inclusivity of early cultural life. The artists were not merely replicating their environment, they were thinkers, planners, and innovators. They understood materials and techniques, selecting pigments, mixing colors, and experimenting with application methods. Mineral-based ochres, charcoal, and manganese provided a rich palette, while fingers, brushes made from animal hair, and hollow bones allowed them to create shading, depth, and texture. Lighting was a key consideration. Many paintings are deep inside caves, beyond the reach of natural light. Artists had to bring torches or lamps, manage flickering shadows, and strategically place their work to achieve visual effects. This shows foresight, creativity, and spatial intelligence. The process of creating cave art was likely social. These spaces were not just canvases, they were gathering places. Elders may have guided younger members, passing down techniques and cultural knowledge. In this sense, the caves were classrooms, preserving collective wisdom through imagery rather than written language. The subjects of their art, animals, human figures, abstract shapes, reveal a sophisticated understanding of both the tangible and symbolic worlds. They observed anatomy, movement, and behavior closely, while also conveying ritual, narrative, and spiritual significance. Each work was a fusion of observation and imagination. These artists were also problem solvers. Pigments had to adhere to rough stone surfaces, reach difficult wall areas, and last for millennia. The very survival of these artworks is a testament to their ingenuity and experimentation. Their choices reflect both creativity and practicality. Importantly, cave art reflects more than technical skill, it reflects identity and expression. It gives us a glimpse into the personalities, values, and cultural priorities of early humans. Through their work, they communicated experiences, beliefs, and stories that transcended individual lifetimes. Ultimately, the artists were pioneers of human creativity. They bridged the gap between survival and culture, combining practical knowledge with symbolic thought. Their work laid the foundation for art, storytelling, and communication in human history. By studying these creators, we gain insight into who early humans were, not just as survivors, but as imaginative, social, and deeply expressive beings. Their legacy reminds us that creativity and curiosity are timeless, essential traits that continue to define humanity. Chapter 5. Our connection to the past. Why it still matters. Ancient cave art is more than just history. It's a mirror reflecting the timeless human urge to create and communicate. These images connect us across tens of thousands of years, showing that the drive to express, narrate, and understand the world is a fundamental part of being human. One of the most powerful lessons from cave art is the universality of creativity. Across continents from Lascaux to Sulawesi, Serra, the Capivara to Bhimbetka, humans independently developed ways to depict their experiences. This demonstrates that storytelling and symbolism were not limited to one culture or location. They are intrinsic to our species. Cave art also provides insight into early human cognition and social structures. Creating complex imagery required planning, abstract thinking, and cooperation. These artworks suggest early humans shared knowledge, mentored younger generations, and communicated ideas beyond spoken language. They were building culture as much as creating art. The spiritual and ritualistic aspects of cave art remind us that early humans sought meaning in their lives, just as we do today. Hand stencils, abstract symbols, and depictions of animals may have been part of ceremonies, hunting magic, or shamanic practices. They revealed that the desire to connect with the unseen world is not modern, it is ancient. Preservation of these sites is a modern challenge. Many caves are delicate, vulnerable to natural erosion, human traffic, and environmental changes. Protecting them while allowing the public to engage with these treasures requires careful balance. Every decision impacts whether these messages will survive for future generations to learn from. Cave art also inspires contemporary creativity. Artists, writers, and thinkers look to these ancient works for insight and imagination. The expressive power of a hand stencil or a finely rendered bison continues to resonate, reminding us that creativity and storytelling transcend time. On a deeper level, cave art reinforces our shared humanity. Regardless of location or era, humans have always sought to leave a mark, to communicate experiences, and to explore abstract ideas. These images are not relics of a distant past. They are part of a continuum connecting us with our ancestors. By studying cave art, we learn about adaptation, innovation, and resilience. We see how early humans interpreted their environment, solved problems, and expressed emotions. These lessons remain relevant today, showing that art and creativity are essential tools for understanding life, culture, and the human spirit. Ultimately, ancient cave art reminds us that expression is timeless. From pigments on stone to digital media today, the impulse to create and communicate is a defining feature of humanity. These ancient messages are voices from the past, inviting us to reflect on who we are, where we come from, and the enduring power of imagination. Ancient cave art reminds us that creativity and expression are as old as humanity itself. These images on stone walls are not just decorations, they are stories, beliefs, and messages reaching across thousands of years. If you found this journey into prehistoric creativity fascinating, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new adventure into the mysteries of human history.